Good evening and welcome to the Indie Voice Show, where artists can listen, learn, and grow with knowledge empowering success. And now, here is your host, singer, songwriter, entrepreneur, Miss Wendy Hicks.
Pump it up. Hello, everyone. How are you guys doing? You know, I don't know why I keep wanting to look. I'm supposed to be looking there.
Right.
Hello, everyone. Thank you guys so much for joining the Indie Voice Show. I am so glad that you have come back. Those of you that are new to the show, welcome. Thank you for joining. And those of you who watch every week, and again, this is week 2 of the of us being back on the air. I want to thank you for coming back and for joining us again. Really appreciate it. Make sure you tell your friends and your family and everybody to tune in. Just a little side note. I appreciate the viewers that are watching live on Facebook Live, but they do report numbers. So if you go to the website, the www.listenvisionlive.com website, then it will record the number of viewers that actually tune in and view the show. So you guys, please do me that favor. So my special guest for tonight is Mr. Frank McComb, that graciously accepted an opportunity for me to record a pre-recorded interview to be aired on tonight's show. My co-host for tonight is my beautiful friend here, Miss Joy Pinkney.
Hi, everybody.
We have been friends for many years, you know, since high school, but, you know, I'll say that wasn't that long ago,
right? We're not going to tell all our business, girl.
So Joy is responsible for my website, which is www.wendyrhicks.com. And she is a part of my team that's helping me to rebrand all that I'm doing under one umbrella. So I thank her and Mr. Kevin Williams for helping me with that. She is also an indie writer and producer of children's novels.
Yes.
That's a new term, indie writer.
Oh, my goodness.
Yes. So if you guys joined us, thank you, Keon. So if you guys were on the air last week, one of the things that I have changed on the show is definitely want to be more informative, want to get information out there to artists that are either looking to embark on a CD project or you've already started your project and you want to know, what do I do next? So one valuable resource that I found is called the Indie Bible. And sorry, it's not in color, but if you go to, actually, I am an affiliate, but I'm waiting for them to send me the link to their website. But if you just Google Indie Bible, I believe it's www.indiebible.com. You can pull this up. It is an amazing resource. It is like over 1,000 pages of information. They have an online database. So if you're trying to do a search on by genre and by location, if you're out of the country, in the country, whatever, they break it down. You can put all the variables in the database and it will find the information for you. It also is a valuable resource for some very informative articles that I came across. And what I said I would do, Maydeen says, hello, Joy.
Hi,
The author and publisher of the Indie Bible, David Wimble, he began publishing this in 1999, but he has agreed to periodically come on the show and share some information. If you have questions, things that you want to know, or even information about the Indie Bible itself, then he will answer questions. I got to get you guys to be more involved with asking questions if it's something that you need to know. But one of the things, so I found this really interesting article that I wanted to share with you out of the Indie Bible article list. And this I thought was appropriate. They have articles ranging from, how to market your music, how to contact or find a radio promoter, how do you get your songs on the air. It talks about if you want to have your project blogged, They also have information on how you can do that. If you're interested in publishing, all the information that a true independent artist needs to know in getting their project out, then they can find it. So, and since there are quite a few people that are, I'm going to make an assumption, there are quite a few people that are probably in the beginning stages. So I thought that it would be great to provide these interesting tips. It says the 20 worst indie artist mistakes. And this article that is in the Indie Bible article database is by Johnny Dwinell from Daredevil Production. A lot of these I could see in myself. I'll be honest here, because we all make mistakes and we learn as we go. But I'll share these with you. So one of the things, the first thing is your songs suck. So some of us, I didn't say this, guys. This is taken from the article. It says your songs suck. And it's interesting because it says consumers will instantly click past a crappy song on thousands of online radio stations until they find a good song that really moves them in the first 10 to 20 seconds. So it has to capture them from the very beginning. And if it doesn't, then you might need to consider putting more music out. You know, get some advice from your friends and your family. Sometimes your friends and family might kind of sugarcoat and might not be completely honest for fear that they're going to hurt your feelings. But
girl, been there, done that.
yeah.
Oh my
So,
goodness.
but you know, it says here that you could seek out a few mentors to teach you what you need to know about your craft and apply your unique vision and perspective to their knowledge. And then they have like these online. Oh, Kurt, you want to call in? Give me a second, Kurt. Hey, Ricky. Okay, and hey, Kenethia. The second tip is you're producing yourself. Now, that's a big mistake. You know, we all, you know, in the indie world, we want to do it all. We want to write the song. We want to play the music on the song. We want to engineer the song, produce the song. You got to have separation of duties, and you've got to let someone else, an outside entity, produce. Of course, you could have input on it, but, you know, don't produce yourself. The third one is you're not marketing at all, and that is key. You know, it says putting your music on iTunes and Spotify, CD Baby, it's not enough. You've got to really get out there, utilize social media, utilize your website, and we'll talk a little bit more about that. But, you know, you really got to get out there and market beyond, you know, selling your CDs on the different distribution tools that they have out there. You're marketing or you're operating with an out-of-date business model. You're still trying to cut cheap demos to shop to a record label to try to get a deal. You still think that radio will be a powerful marketing tool when you do get your deal. You still think the labels make money selling records. You still think that if you get a deal, that's when you've made it. It says, wake up. That ship sailed a decade ago. You have to develop yourself today, which is so true. You need to log on to the website. Somebody said, can't see my face. Okay, so you're not thinking like a record label. You know, if you get signed today, the label would surround you with people who make a living writing songs, the engineering, producing, public relations, marketing, promotions. All these people would be highly professional and much more dialed into the marketing process than you and your friends. If you're thinking like a label, you are looking for a team of people to help you with at least some of these important items, and that's true. Building a team is true, and it's interesting that it says this because when I did my interview with Frank McComb, one of the things that he talked about was, you know, yes, it's good to have a team, but you don't want to have a large team. You don't want a lot of people in your camp. We'll hear more about that later. You're not selling your music on your website. We talked a little bit about that. You're not posting regular videos to YouTube. That is important because you got to find creative ways to build your fan base. And that's very, very important. So, you know, get out there and post some videos to YouTube. You suck at project management. I had to read this one a few times because it was kind of stuck me I was stuck for a minute. But basically, that means just don't try to cut costs and be cheap. You know, you have to know it's not always about the quantity, but it's the quality. So if your pockets say that you can only put out an EP versus a full-blown project, well then, you know, then work within your means is what that's saying. You're waiting for your big break. Those days are pretty much over. The lifestyle of the indie artist is definitely where it's at. You're doing it all on your own, from the artistic side to the business side. You still think record labels develop talent. You don't think of your music as product. And then this just simply says, until you do, nobody is going to hear your art. So you have to look at your music as a product. You're self-sabotaging. Now, I'll read this one. This is the most common and most destructive mistake of them all. It says, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to hit speed bumps. You're going to be rejected. You're going to have to get over it. You have to get out of your own way and just move forward. And that is so, so true. Stop making excuses. If you keep doing what you've always done, you'll keep getting what you always got. Period. Make a change and watch massive amounts of energy quickly flow your way. You are too sensitive to take constructive criticism. That pretty much speaks for itself. You're listening to haters. That's a very good one, too. When you do start to get momentum, people you don't know, and sadly, many that you do, will spit poison into every part of your life. Get used to it. You're doing what they can't. And that is really true. And I've also learned that a lot of times, I like to share what I'm doing, and I do share what I'm doing, but sometimes people will pray against you.
Well, let me tell you about the haters now. I've been quiet up until
Okay.
But that, even being an indie author or indie anything that deals with art, there are people out there who will always have something negative to say about what you're trying to do, what you're going to do. But you have to know within yourself that what you're doing, you're passionate about.
Right.
Okay. So forget the haters. You know for yourself that you have your passion. And I think haters just confirm that I'm on the right track.
That's right. Hello,
girl.
Look, Kurt Hoffner on Facebook Live, he's talking about say it again. I knew you was going to say something about that. Work within your budget. Absolutely. Hey, Cole. Look, Cole says, hey, Wendy and cousin.
Hey, cousin.
We're almost finished with this list. You haven't defined your lane, and this is very important, too. You are afraid to pick a genre because you write in many. Consumers need one lane to connect with you in. Just because you pick one doesn't mean you are ignoring the others. You get some traction in one lane first. That traction will help expose a project in a different lane to more people. Think John Mayer with his first few pop records, and then he did a blues project. That blues project got a ton of exposure because he was now John Mayer, the pop star. So make sure you define your lane. Your live performance sucks. You got to work on that craft beyond the studio. Hey, Janice. Now, you know that, what is it that creates, like, when you're flat? Auto-tune?
Yeah.
You can't. Look, Kurt's going to chime in on this one.
Punch out.
You can't punch in and punch out, and you can't auto-tune that flat note when you're doing a live performance. It is important to practice. Practice is an absolute must. I also had a conversation with Frank McComb about how when he was with Rude Boys, after he graduated high school, did his first tour, they practiced for a year and a half before they went on tour, and bands just aren't doing that anymore. Hey, Jeff. Bands aren't doing that anymore. People want to just, they want that instant gratification, that instant money. They want to, practice for that next gig, but you got to be tight. If you want to be a strong band and tour outside of the city, if you want to be a local band and just average, you can do that. But if you're really trying to get more exposure, better exposure outside of the city, it's important to be tight. Look at Kurt. Kurt's like, let's not go there with auto-tune. Okay, let's see. You're not capitalizing on your live performances, and that speaks to merchandising. It speaks to building your email list. So that people can stay connected to you. Having your merchandise, to sell your CDs or your T-shirts after the show, definitely need to do that. And then it says you should be moving product from the stage at every show. You should be gaining Twitter followers at every show. Then you can get laid. Okay, now I don't know what that means. Laid? Okay, wait a minute. Rewind. Yeah. Okay,
girl, that's a different show.
That's for the rock stars. That's for the rock stars. But
Okay, go. Let's try that again.
Right. Okay, and then it says you're putting too much stock into your Reverb Nation ranking. True. Pull the video. Okay, see people trying to see us on. Okay, here we go. Are y'all upset that y'all can't see us on Facebook Live? Uh-oh.
Yeah, they want
y'all
to see
need
you.
to.
They want you to turn it around.
Okay,
girl.
hey Ted. Okay, well, you got to tune in to listenvisionlive.com. Putting too much stock into your Reverb Nation ranking. A number one ranking for your small town or big city on Reverb Nation, plus $2.54 will get you a cup of coffee at Starbucks. How are you getting paid for your songs? So don't put a whole lot of stock in Reverb Nation. Again, get out there and market. Get out there, create your website. Sell your product on your website. Sell your merchandise after the shows. You don't know what you're doing on Twitter. Guilty as charged. Hey, George. Guilty as charged. Again, Twitter, not just Twitter, but now we've got that Snapchat that's real popular, the Instagram. This article was actually written in 2015, so in terms of social media, they may be a little slow, but Twitter is still a very important networking tool, social media networking tool. So really take advantage of that. Hey, Ty! And the last one, you think it's all about music, not marketing. This is a good one as well. And I'd like to add to that, you think it's all about music and not the music business. So not only is it important to market, but you really need to know and understand the business. And again, going back to my interview with Frank McComb, who is a true example of an independent artist because he does it all himself. He writes his music, plays his music, engineers, produces, masters, distributes, packages them himself. So, I mean, so you have to make sure that, once you get your product out there, you got to market and definitely have to know the business end. So again, those are the 20, yes, Leroy, yes, for musicians as well. You're absolutely right. Cole, what article am I referencing? I'm referencing the Indie Bible. There's a special feature. There are so many articles on there. I'm doing articles, reading articles, and reading some tips, helpful information from the Indie Bible weekly. And I'm going to, I'll see if I can get permission
link
on the website
once they send us the information.
Yes. So yeah, we'll make sure you get that. But yes, it's the Indie Bible, and again, that is an invaluable resource. So I hope that you guys have found these tips helpful, and I'll have to see if I can get permission from David about maybe publishing these 20. He said that as long as I reference the author of the articles, this should be okay, but I do need to get authorization to maybe post it, maybe on Facebook to see if it's okay, just so that you guys can go back and read. But anyway, we're going to take a quick commercial break, and then we will come back with our Have You Heard segment. So come right back in about 1 minute and 30 seconds. And we are back. So our next segment is, I need to woosah. Woosah. Yes. Somebody said I'm speeding through. Thank you, Ricky. Okay, so our Have You Heard segment is an opportunity for me to share with the audience people that are either I'm referred to by other folks that watch the show, or people that I happen to come across. I was able to come across some amazing musicians on the Capital Jazz Super Cruise, and I haven't even begun to share that information yet. So with so many people out there that have amazing talent that really need to be recognized. So this is my way to kind of expose you, my viewing audience, to the artists, the independent artists that are out there, so that you can support and know who they are. Now, the person that I am featuring for tonight's Have You Heard is Miss Deli Rowe, and she is from out of Richmond, Virginia. She will be joining, hey Ashley, she will be joining us next Saturday. I have a new segment that is called A Soul's Journey Online. Basically, A Soul's Journey is and was, I haven't done a show in a little bit of time, but it was my way to offer exposure to our area independent artists that were releasing their indie projects. And some of them had never performed their music live in front of an audience. So it was a great opportunity for them to hear that and for people to know who they are. And so this is my way of extending that. I'm extending that and exposing artists to a much broader audience. This is, this show reaches 150 countries and all over the United States. So if for those independent artists that are working on projects, you need to go to my website, wendyrhicks.com, and under the contacts tab, fill in the section that says you want to perform live on the show. That is different from being a guest on the show. There is a fee associated with performing live, because this is a service that I'm offering, but the rewards of that is invaluable. But again, so Miss Deli Rowe is the first person that will be performing on that Soul's Journey online acoustic set. And I'm really excited about you guys getting a chance to meet her. I'm going to interview her for a few minutes before she does her 30-minute live performance. So again, if those of you that are interested in performing, all right, Cole, love you. Those of you that are interested, make sure you hit me up on my website. So now, without further ado, we're going to play, I chose this song because it is the first single off of her project, her latest project. And this is an acoustic version of her song, Smile Again. Check it out.
Everything you want, money, houses, cars, and more. But the thing you're searching for can't be bought in stores. You reminisce so out of fail all the many times you tried. If you look deep down inside, love something you just can't deny. Come on, let me show you how it should be. Come on, let me show you how it should feel, yeah. If you just let go of all that you've seen, and if you could just do this one simple thing, just smile again. Smile again. Try to fight it, like glue has held you down. When it's real, there's no denying. See, you're lost, don't you wanna be found? When love comes to find you, just let it take control. Oh yeah, let it make those things you thought were over possible. Come on, let me show you how it should be. Come on, let me show you how it should feel. And if you just let go of all that you've seen, and if you could just do this one simple thing, smile again, yeah. Oh. smile again. You make me 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 smile again.
And we are back. Welcome back. So, man, so what do you think? What do you think? Okay, so here's the thing. I have a slight dilemma. I am recording this live. Ty, I'll tell you about my music. I'm recording this live, real time on Facebook Live, as well as, you know, the audience that's viewing from the website. So the challenge is, if you have questions, one way that you can ask questions. Hey, Vanessa, one way that you can ask questions is via Facebook Live. But people aren't tuning in on the show. And if I get a phone call to take questions on the air, then it's going to pause the Facebook Live. So that is the challenge. But if you have any questions, then yes, feel free to call in. The number is 240, it should be at the bottom of the screen, 428-4802. Hey, sis, Lorinda. Okay, so now we are about to, I want to introduce my interview with Frank McComb. We're going to start with a bio. It's a quick video bio, and then I will share a part of our pre-recorded interview. So are we ready?
One arm go out. Another day, staring out of my window, thinking about tomorrow, wishing things would.
Influence, primarily women, started playing the drums at a very young age. One fateful day, he asked his aunt to teach him how to play piano. Who would have known after only 3 lessons, totaling 3 full hours of instruction, that Frank would become the musical prodigy that he is known and loved for today? He's often compared to musical greats such as Donny Hathaway and Stevie Wonder. Frank is humbled and flattered, however, credits his musical style and influence to his mother. In less than 2 years from his first piano lesson, Frank started playing clubs around Ohio. After graduating high school, he was asked to be the musical director and tour with the Rude Boys, thanks to Gerald Levert. He would yet to know the extent of his vocal ability, but continued to grow in his musical career as a musician. Frank met DJ Jazzy Jeff and moved to Philly, where he met and worked with the legendary duo Gamble and Huff. Soon thereafter, Frank ended up signing with Mo Jazz Records, a part of the Motown label, and after 2 years left due to business changes. Frank's bio and timeline reads as though his steps were divinely intervened and people were placed in his path to keep him walking in his destiny. One can assume that Frank was fearless and allowed his faith to guide him through, fearless of failure and success. His countless friendships with industry legends allowed him exposure that not everyone can experience in a lifetime. His 2 regrets were not following opportunities to meet and work with Sting and George Duke. In my personal interview with Frank, when asked 3 things he would offer as advice to up-and-coming independent artists, this was his response.
That was the second regret that I had. The fact that I just didn't take advantage of that opportunity.
But you took advantage of so many other opportunities, though, in your life. I mean, I'm a firm believer in, opportunities come and go, and I think that things happen when they're supposed to. For whatever reason, it didn't that night or those nights with Sting and with George Duke.
But that was my fault, though. I had to take the blame. Those were my fault because I clearly had a choice. Mm-hmm. And I just didn't move on it like I should have. I should have taken a Red Bull or something with Branford and taken that train ride. And that's what taught me to take advantage of every opportunity that I possibly can. I don't believe in blowing opportunities or wasting time, if possible. You know.
Okay.
Those are the main. Yeah, that's really like the main two.
Okay, and then the last question.
Yeah.
So that kind of falls in line with my last question in terms of advice to up and coming artists. So can you give me like 3 tips that you would give up and coming artists that are looking to embark on their projects or looking to, you know, this whole indie artistry? What are 3 things that you would advise them?
Well, one, I would say count your own money. You know, it is cool to have people working for you, but you got to constantly be involved. Be involved in your business. You can't leave 100% of everything on somebody else. Be involved in your business. If you're dealing with checks, sign your own checks. You know, count your own money. That's one. Don't be afraid to be involved with your business. Another thing I will say is to not be in denial musically. If you need to go back to the drawing board, go back to the drawing board. Don't be in denial, man. If your tracks are not tight enough, if you got to recut a vocal, you know, just don't be in denial. Make the best of every opportunity you can when it comes down to recording your stuff too. Don't be your own worst critic. You know, if it's a good take, leave it alone. You know, you don't be 2 hours trying to cut a lead vocal because you're trying to make it what you feel is perfect. You know, to me, the fact that some things are not perfect is what makes them perfect. You know,
Right.
I would say that, yeah, and keep a small circle of people. You don't have to have a whole lot of people around you. You know, the more people you have around you, I think the how do I say this where it makes sense? The more people I feel that you have around you, the more distractions you have around you. You can't stay focused. You know, look at your life as a pyramid. And I heard a pastor say this, and he really blessed me with it. Look at your life as a pyramid. If you look at a pyramid, it's like that. The higher up you go, the less space there are for many people.
Right.
So you might want to keep everybody starting down low. Only a few people can fit at the top of your pyramid. Don't let everybody at the top of your pyramid so fast. And really, don't let everybody at the top of your pyramid. Period. I mean, really. And it's less Christmas gifts you gotta buy. That's what I would advise people.
Okay. Well, gosh, I thank you so much. It has been, I can't turn this around like on my phone, but
it's all good.
I tell you, this has been such a great experience. Hanging with you today, all day. It's been, almost a 10-hour day.
Hey, I'm cool with it. You can come.
We've done sound checks. We went to WPFW.
That's right.
Sat here.
2 shows tonight.
2 shows. The meet and greet.
I meant to call you up to sing.
No, you but you did put me to work. You put me to work.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you. Thank you, and I know that you are exhausted.
Thanks for looking out for me. Actually, I'm okay. I'm pretty good. As I sit here and yawn.
Yeah, yes. So where are you off to in the morning?
Shout out, Frank. Come on, shout out. Yawn.
Well, not in the morning. In a few hours. Where are you going?
In a few hours, actually. I'm headed to. I'm taking a flight to Atlanta, only to drive to Atlanta Backline Company to pick up my gear. They're sponsoring my equipment, and then I'm driving to Montgomery, Alabama.
Wow.
And I have a show in Montgomery tomorrow night. The following night is going to be Columbia, South Carolina.
Oh, my girlfriend's in Columbia. I might have to tell her to come and check you. Yes.
Yeah, have her reach out. And then the following night after that is Atlanta, Georgia, St. James Live. Wow. Then I go home for a little while, and I got Houston on the 26th for November, and I got photo shoots and other stuff booked in Houston.
Nice.
But let me see, December, I got a little time off, between that and heading to Europe for December. I've got to go to Sicily on the 21st.
Wow.
And then the 23rd, 24th, and 25th is the North Sea Jazz Club in Amsterdam. And then I'm back home. See?
All right, and lastly, tell our viewers how they can stay connected to you.
FrankMcComb.info. 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 All my social media is there: Facebook, Instagram, Twitter.
Ding, 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 ding. We need where my claps?
Woo!
I tell y'all, wasn't that amazing? I have to say, as loud as I talk, I don't even need this mic. Hey, Jamie, I just have to say that, again, I really, really appreciate, and Frank, if you're watching, from the bottom of my heart, I really appreciate you taking the time and kind of taking me under your wing and sharing that whole experience with you. It was just great. It was great to just be there to witness firsthand the things that he goes through. And I'm sure that was just a small glimpse into his life. He stresses that he does everything. And I think that's a great thing, but then it could also be a bad thing because, even though he manages to do it all in terms of his artistry and the business side, it's hard. It's tough. So it was a pleasure hanging with you. So the next segment is, before we end the show, is Set Your Mind, Set Your Week. And it is the motivational quote to get you through to next week. And that quote is, to believe in yourself and you will be unstoppable. And that is by Unknown. Mm-hmm. And so Fan the Flame is, it's the Fan the Flame after Set Your Mind, Set Your Week is about the takeaway from the inspirational quote and some suggestions on how to use the inspiration to take action. And basically what I have to say about that is believe enough in yourself to be open for opportunities and believe enough in your faith to know that, trust your own inner instinct and know that, you are not alone and that you will be led in the steps that are uniquely yours. So, again, believe enough in yourself to make that happen. Do you have anything to add to that?
Girl, I always have something to say.
Yes.
I mean, I've been pretty quiet, but I can tell you this, that there will be a lot of no's in anybody's life, especially if you're an independent artist, whether it's music or, in my case, writing or artistic drawing. I just say, be true to yourself and know what you love and just keep doing it, because no's can turn into yeses. As long as you say yes to yourself, you'll be okay.
Right.
And
sometimes you plant those seeds.
Yes,
even though you've gotten to know, you've planted the seeds for something future that's in line with what's supposed to be for you. And that's something else I'd like to remind me to lead off on that next week, because again, there are some things that happened. There were some things that happened on the jazz cruise that I did years ago, not knowing the people that I was going to meet years down the line that opened up opportunities. So I'll definitely talk a little bit more about that. But we are going to end the show. I would like to thank you guys for watching. I really appreciate you. Minnie, if you're watching from South Carolina, love you, girl. I'm going to call you tonight. I'd like to thank Marvin, if you're watching, my family here in D.C., Maryland, Virginia. Thank you sincerely to Frank McComb and Miss Joy Pinkney. Thank you, my WLVS family, for providing a platform to provide artists information to help with their projects. Again, thank you for joining. See you next week. Stay tuned for the Pink Fox Show. And also, real quick, tell people how they can stay connected to you.
Oh, well, actually, you can stay connected to me. There'll be a link on your website.
All right.
That's wendyrhicks.com.
Okay.
And you can click for the webmaster. Also, look forward to the link to the Indie Bible.
Okay.
And to get that information.
All right. Thank you, guys. Love you. Bye.
There's no room for doubt in my mind. Girl, I'm sure you are the one. Nothing in this world could compare to all the silver could step in. Yeah, yeah. You're never going overboard or get too extreme with situations. Knowing how to handle yourself in the ugliest complications. Every woman should take up a course of you. Oh yeah. So when they're trying to get a man, they'll know just what to do. Yes, they do. It's so easy to love somebody like you. Yes, it is. And every word I sing, I mean because it's true. Yes, it is. We will always be the best of friends. Yeah. Say you and me think no one else could step in. Love at first sight is a thing in which I never believed till it finally happened to me. My life's complete having you and only you to love, to love. It's so easy to love somebody like you. Yeah, yeah. And every word I sing, I mean because it's true. Yes, I do. We will always be the best of